I don't know, I felt like I wasn't good enough at it. I felt like everything that I read that I was inspired by and that I felt was beautiful and interesting, I felt like those writers had much more of a talent and had worked much harder at doing it. And I guess I sort of just gave up. I don't know, you could paint it as like me being modest or me being like realistic, or you could paint it as me being a coward. I didn't really write any poetry in college. I wrote mostly in high school, and then I stopped in college. And then I started when I got here again.
Do you remember why you stopped? I know why you started, because it was me.
Yes, mostly. I stopped because I decided, when I was in high school, I thought I was going to like be a writer, because I like wrote a lot of poetry. And I'm not saying any of it was good, but I was really into it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I did the Lit Mag in high school, and I was like the editor of the Lit Mag, so I like really enjoyed it and thought I would do it forever. And then when I got to college, I was thinking of like majoring in literature or creative writing. And I just sort of took a step back and realized that just because I like doing it doesn't mean that I'm good at it, or that it's worth, on the one hand, doesn't mean I'm good at it, and doesn't mean, on the other hand, that it's worth studying even if I was good at it. That's where the not having confidence in my own writing comes in. Like, it's not like I thought, oh, I'm a good writer, but it's not realistic for me to do this because I would have to work really hard to get known or whatever. I didn't think that I was even good enough to like, for it to be worth it for me to work that hard at it. And I also felt like a lot of people that I was meeting that were studying creative writing had like that goal in mind where like they would publish something, get known, get a lot of people to read it, which is like, it seems like an intuitive and inherent thing that a lot of writers want, which is just like a lot of people to read their stuff and think they're really good, which is fine, but I felt like it was like almost the only reason that they were writing, and I felt like I didn't want to fall into that, even though I did want that, and I do want that because everybody who makes anything wants that. If you read something and you're inspired by somebody else's writing or somebody else's music or whatever, then like, why would you not want to inspire other people with your own things like that? That's like the experience that you're trying to reproduce, except you want to be on one end of it that not many people are.
Do you think that you can teach art and like the practice of making work? So both music to a certain degree, there's a craft that can be taught. Mm-hmm. But do you think that like
everything has that element. Maybe a little less so with writing and visual art because there's more of a spectrum. You have to go into it with an intuition and good taste and a good direction for it to work. I don't think anybody can go learn art and be a good artist. You just have to start as a good artist, and then it'll help you more. I think I'm a good person, and I think that I am not a boring person usually, but I also feel like I haven't done anything that I should really be proud of myself for. I don't know. I feel like I'm at a point in my life where I just haven't done anything yet, and I'm waiting to find out what I have to do. I have a desire to do it, whatever it is. Maybe it involves writing, maybe it involves music, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, you don't want to be just like every other person. You want to do something that's interesting and that people can say like, oh, that person did something cool that you don't see every day. I don't know. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just be a failure.
Will that be being a failure?
I guess this is revealed to a certain extent. That's what I believe.
Yeah.
Like that you can be happy, but like not really proud of yourself unless you've done something like interesting.
But what does that mean? Like, what's interesting? What's that thing?
It's a lame answer, but I want to feel like I did something. I want to feel like I can make something that other people can look at or hear and be happy about it or find it interesting, even though I know that I'm not like the best at it or whatever, or that I'm not sure that I could do something like that, but I still feel like it's really important to me that I do something like that, or I try to do something like that.
I feel like you think that you don't deserve attention for the things that you make.
Maybe I do deserve attention for some of it, but I feel like I shouldn't want attention.
Do you feel like you're waiting to figure out what that thing is, or do you have some idea of what it is, or just kind of like know what it looks like and feels like, but not necessarily what it is? Like, where does that... Because I feel like I have a similar desire, but I don't know what the thing actually is.
Well, I feel like you have so many weird interests. You're like constantly shuffling between like, oh, I'm gonna paint today, or oh, I'm gonna like do a film thing, or oh, I want to do a podcast, or maybe I want to write something, or maybe I want to start a company and do something business wise. So I feel like it's more confusing for you just because you have like diffuse interests and you feel like you could do a lot of things. Whereas for me, I know that I'm not a multitasker in that way. Like, I know that I like writing and I know that I like playing the drums, but I'm not just like, I can't do anything else. I could maybe if I tried.